So I'm over at my neighbor's house. Got my buddy Sam. He's digging out a trampoline hole. Recently, my girls have been asking me questions. Can we get a trampoline? Can we get a trampoline? I'm not sure if I want a trampoline, but my buddy Sam has a business called trampolineholes.com where he goes around and he actually puts trampolines in the ground for people. So he was doing this dig in the neighborhood, and I thought I'd come over and film it and ask him a bunch of questions on trampolines. On this Remodelaholic channel, we share everything related to home improvement. So if you have a home or live somewhere and you're trying to improve the space around you, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of the videos we put up on our channel. In this video, I wanted to share some tips with you on what you need to consider before you call up Sam and have him come dig your hole. So with this in-ground trampoline hole, you can see it's an existing landscape. Because it's an existing landscape, we have grass, we have sprinklers we're gonna have to deal with. We have to know where all the electrical lines, all the plumbing lines, all the gas lines are. So we have to get the area blue staked. So that's the first thing you can do is call 811 and get your area blue staked. And it's a free service, so it'll just help you get a better understanding of where you can locate your trampoline. The typical trampoline size that people are putting in are about a 14-foot diameter trampoline. So that's what you see here, is he's digging out the area just slightly bigger than 14 feet so he can put the trampoline in that hole. So if you had an unfinished backyard, things would be a lot easier. He makes sure that the trampoline is about 5 to 6 feet from a fence, from a rock wall, any kind of obstacles that you might have. You just want at least a 3-foot safety zone around the trampoline. It's also important to consider where in your yard is the most level area, so you don't have to build additional retaining walls, because you want your trampoline to be nice and level when it's all finished and installed. In this particular location, there was a 6-inch difference from the high spot to the low spot. A little bit of the black trampoline retaining wall that will show up on the other side. But it's not an issue because you can mow right up to it. Now another thing to consider is access for his equipment to be able to come in to the backyard and dig the hole. So his equipment needs about 6 feet to be able to get into the backyard if it's an existing backyard and has a fence. In this case, they had to rip out their gate because it wasn't wide enough. So they took out a section of their fence about 10 feet that they're gonna have to rebuild later on. Another thing you might wanna get checked out before you do an in-ground trampoline hole is know what your soil type is. You can see with this soil type, it's really rocky, but the soil type will drain really well in this situation. If it was clay, or if you lived in an area with a high water table, that would be a lot different, and you might have to plan on doing some drains at the bottom of the trampoline. But for this trampoline hole, he's not gonna have to drain it because it's gonna drain itself pretty well. So here in Utah, a lot of people have sprinkler systems. And in this case in the yard, he didn't run through any sprinkler pipes, but there could be a chance that you would have to reroute some sprinkler lines if you came across them. What he basically does is just reroutes it around the perimeter of the trampoline hole. So if you are one of those people that you're like, oh, that's a big hole, you know, I could do that, it wouldn't take long. Well, you know, I don't know how long it would take to do by hand, but this guy and his equipment, it took him less than a day to get in there, dig it out, and get the trampoline up and ready for the kids to start jumping on. One thing about this installation is the owners wanted to leave the pile of dirt where it was, so he didn't have to remove any of the soil on this project. It's a way to save some money on the installation cost. So the trampoline that Sam installs the most is the 14-foot trampoline from Trampolines Down Under. It's a kit that comes with the retaining walls, the mat, the springs, and even the vented pads that go around on top of the spring. So the vented pads are what really make this in-ground trampoline work because they allow you to bounce better. It allows airflow to escape from underneath as you're bouncing down, and they don't slap on the springs. So they are quieter as you're bouncing. And I thought this retaining wall system was really cool because it's screwed on the outside frame of the trampoline, and it's a really rigid product, so it's gonna hold back the soil really well over time. Sam's installed over 700 of these trampoline kits, so don't waste your time with other types of do-it-yourself type of retaining walls. This retaining wall, when it's done correctly, will last a very long time. And I could tell by just watching him do this installation that he's done it before and he really knows what he's doing. So I asked Sam, what do you do with the trampoline in the winter? So he recommends taking the mat and the springs and the pad off and storing it, but you can just leave the retaining wall the way it is. And then when the snow's melted come spring, you can put everything back in place. It is made to be outside, but the weight of the snow is the biggest issue. This is a pretty big investment if you're gonna go this route, so you might as well protect your investment. Take the time to take it off and put it away and store it. So I'm still not sure that I wanna get my kids a trampoline since everybody else in the neighborhood has one, but I definitely see the benefit of doing an in-ground trampoline instead of having that big beast of a trampoline that you have to move every time you mow the lawn. I think this is a good solution. Plus, it's so much easier to get on and off. You don't have to worry about that 3-foot drop and your kids falling off the edge. So I also think the in-ground trampoline looks a lot better in the landscape than seeing it above ground. And let me know in the comments what you think if you would consider an in-ground trampoline. So you can go contact Sam at trampolineholes.com if you live in the Utah area or nearby. Give him a call and he'll come put one of these in for you. So I hope you found that entertaining and helpful. Be sure to check out these other helpful videos right here and here, and we'll see you next time.